What's up guys, Hades here. So we recently had a kill event on our KVK, just for fun. We did it just like the previous video, except this time it was planned to not play with chaos, and that was to get more people involved, to get some honor flowing, and just to be a little creative. I thought this was a fantastic idea, and so I went ahead and made myself my own march. Now, there's a lot of ways you can go with this. A lot of people like to play with Himiko in this slot, and a lot of people use this as their main against anyone. Now, the thing is, in an environment without chaos, Khan becomes extremely dominant, and the reason is the only way to stop him really is to run purification. Now you can go on to Alex or Hannibal and give them something like Dual Master, but besides from Dual Master and Purification, Khan reigns supreme. Now, not a big fan of battle stance on Khan, just because I want to lay down that wound early. I tried it a bit, it didn't work. I tried a few variations on him. Some of them worked, some of them did not. I tried demonic with blade, and then I used fighting master here. So some of the replays I show you and some of the rallies are gonna be like this. Some of them had no malice, some of them had malice, some of them had weakening curve, some of them did not. And then the other big swap was some of them had side assist and some did not. Now, the big error with side assist is because you are holding side assist on your support, it means your carry gets put in the realm by Himiko, and you're gonna see some of the reports where that really reflects big time. Because if Khan goes in the realm, my team does no damage. Tank support, it doesn't look good. And then if Theodora goes in the realm, I lose all my healing, and then I just kind of lose tempo in the match. So either way, Khan did very well, and I did probably more positive trades than negative trades. But the other advantage I have here is Khan is much better into hybrid than Himiko, because he can wound them and make them unable to heal, while Himiko is going to only be realming the backline. So let's jump into some reports. Okay, the first report here was an interesting rally. Just to note, at the start of this event, I completely forgot to buff. I also am only about 550k power due to my weak artifacts and weak dust distribution on this team. So it kind of shows you that even if you don't have everything maxed out, if you put skills in the right spot and you have the right immortals, you have a high frequency to win. Now, why does this team beat hybrid so bad? Well, first of all, weakening curse absolutely destroys both Alex and Hannibal. It essentially makes them extremely weak for the beginning of the match, and they have to scale up hard. Then again, Khan counters quite hard into them. They just don't have enough damage. This becomes a huge problem because they're hitting two tanks who don't matter, but when they're able to hit, per se, an Alexander or a Tutankhamun or Manko or Poseidon, they can focus down a carry. But here they can't really focus down the carry. And you're going to see this common effect here. Even against Thunder, my weakness, this is about a 580. And again, a hybrid here. I'm doing really well. But let's jump into the next one. Okay, so here's another rally. I finally put my boosts on, and I found my first Himiko. I am side assisting, and I did win pretty hard, but that does not always necessarily mean it's going to be a win. The difference with this team is they were running Alexander instead of YSS. Whenever the enemy had YSS with Theodora, it was really hard. Why is that? Well, Blade Vortex actually becomes one of the highest dealing damages, and when they have a Theodora, it reduces a lot of that damage. When you look at the damage breakdown, Blade Vortex is by far the highest, almost double Executioner. And if you can't slow down the bleed damage with Theodora, it's gonna be a problem for the enemies, right? And then here it's another hybrid team. They're pretty much pummeling all their damage into YSS. You can see his HP gets really low, but he doesn't matter, right? He's got a weak artifact. He's just here to soak damage and have a good time. And my Khan is going to do the rest. And as you can see here, again, nothing's really able to stop Blade Vortex because there's no Theodora. But I do want to jump into one where Theodora and Himiko absolutely dump on my team. So we'll jump into that one and watch a replay. Okay, here's a report in a rally situation. You can see the power. There's not there because I lose in one hit. But I'm fighting against a very strong Himiko team. This team has all the bells and whistles, you know, all the max artifacts. Not completely perfect, but just about as good as it gets. Crit rate, everything you want, and it's got the power. It's like 620,000. So I'm way behind, so that does matter, but I want to show you the details in the replay in what make this such a losing match. Like I said earlier, if Khan goes in the realm, all my damage goes bye-bye, and if Theodora goes in the realm, well then I can't sustain any damage, and I slowly bleed out, and it becomes really hard to recover. So that's where Himiko really becomes a problem. Now, both teams kind of tickle each other in the beginning because there's only one carry on each side and they're both stacking up damage. They have to develop a sense of damage. You can see my Khan already took a ton of damage up front, so now he's not dealing much back. And then a lot of his Blade Vortex damage is getting denied by Theodora. And then as soon as Theodora is too weak, then Khan goes in the realm. Now he's not doing any damage, and you can see I had a really neutral position, but then once my Khan got put in the realm twice, I couldn't deal any damage back, and then I just slowly lost the match. And every time Khan goes in the realm, it buys him 6 seconds to heal and recuperate and get shields and deny, and you can see he's just gonna hover around 70% and continuously grow. As I lose HP, the lower and lower I get, and then every time I'm in the realm, he continues to heal. And then he gets that time where he's not wounded. And then while he's smacking my tanks at the end, he's going to heal up a bunch. And yeah, that's what kind of happens in the fight. And that's why the report looks so poor. It looks like he had 80%. But, you know, I had him down to the 60s for quite a while. But Khan just wasn't able to sustain any damage. So just in general, it was never going to be good for me. Now, I think this was a really fun experiment, a really fun event. I would highly suggest people try this in their servers, or if you're a player without chaos, understand that there's always a way to find value. I do want to show one last kind of bonus build. I'm not going to deep dive into it, but just to show you that there really are tons of ways to be powerful, and you don't even need to have tons of power. So let's jump to that last one. Here's that final build. Really interesting Tutankhamun replacement for YSS in that very normal Himiko team. It is running double scaling, and then the Tutankhamun is running Blade Vortex with Executioner. We're just going to give him a ton of healing. Now if you get the artifact going, you get the dust going, and you get this team over 600,000, really get all those bonuses in, it's going to be a really strong team. And we're going to look at the stats here. 44 million from Himiko, and even without a scaling damage, Tutankhamun still did 30 million, which is kind of crazy. I even have Theodora to slow down the Blade Vortex. It just doesn't matter. It's just very powerful. And he's really tanky too. You can see he's healing 1.8 million just from his ultimate, right? He's dealing good damage. You're now a dual threat. Also, when you put Himiko with Tutankhamun, he's more likely to get his bonus damage on his abilities. So yeah, if you like these kind of videos and you want to make sure you optimize your teams without chaos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.